digital downloads, or billing clients for services, SamCart is where you get paid for whatever it is that you do. At SamCart, you can sell anything and everything using our library of pre-made templates that have been used to generate billions of dollars in sales. Bring your sales page to life with the drag and drop builder. Offer your customers more ways to pay you by selling payment plans, subscriptions, bundles, and even pay what you want offers. You can sell your products as one lump sum or break up those payments into smaller chunks with payment plans. You can grow your recurring income with built-in subscriptions. And these are just a few ways that SamCart makes it easy for you to get paid for what you do. And now built into every single SamCart account is the brand new SamCart courses, the perfect solution for securely delivering your video courses, ebooks, and memberships all in one place. And it is built right into every single SamCart account. With the new SamCart courses, you can create a robust lesson plan for your students and even drip out the content on your own schedule. You can boost your sales by selling different tiers and bundles of your course. And did you know that right now, over 30% of your students never even make it to the first video? Which is why we developed SamCart's auto-enroll technology, which seamlessly takes your students from buying to learning in one simple step. No lost passwords, no support tickets, just more happy customers getting exactly what they bought every time. But what if you're a brand new course creator? Or you've always wanted to add an online course to whatever it is that you already sell? Then do not miss the SamCart Course Creation Challenge. Over 20 videos and lessons that will help you launch your first online course in just 14 days. You'll learn everything from cameras and lighting to launching and selling your first online course. And whenever you're ready, you can showcase and sell your course on one simple page. Built with SamCart's drag and drop editor. Easily create high converting sales pages by adding video trailers, countdown timers, and more. Our mission at SamCart is to put the selling power of the world's largest brands into your hands, multiplying your sales with powerful features like one-click upsells, order bumps, and more. In fact, SamCart's database proves that adding a single one-click upsell increases your average order value by 68%. And next are the order bumps. Just one order bump boosts sales by an average of 31%. Create your first bump, and 1 out of 3 customers is going to hit that add to order button and make you more money. Selling subscriptions? Well, what are you doing about failed payments? Your customers' credit cards are constantly being lost, stolen, or expiring. So what happens when those payments fail? Well, instead of chasing down your clients, we created the SamCart Subscription Saver. SamCart automatically updates your customers' credit cards without you lifting a finger. So your subscription payments come in on time, which lets you focus back on growing your business. And for any advanced sellers doing 6 figures and up already, SamCart has all the tools you need to keep scaling. You can A/B test your product pages in real time and let the results guide you to your next move. You can see which version of your page converts the highest and make more money in the process. Turn your business into a well-oiled machine by integrating SamCart with all of your favorite tools for sending emails, managing contacts, and even doing your taxes. SamCart's integrations let you effortlessly track your return on ad spend, create new customer profiles, automatically ship out your products, and keep your team in the loop with updates and notifications. So let's launch your next course, ebook, mastermind group, CPG brand, or digital agency today. SamCart is home to over 20,000 creators who have sold more than $2 billion of their own products and services on SamCart. You can join them today and see why the right tool makes all the difference. Get started for free today at samcart.com. Welcome. It is another edition of the Tuesday Takeover. My name is Scott Moran. That guy below me is Jordan P. Anderson. That lady above me is Taylor Danielle. And we are here to talk to you guys about how awesome creators out in the world are making their money and how they can be making even more money in the process. So Taylor, Jordan, what's going on, guys?
That's right. What's going on? I know. It's already Tuesday. Did anybody feel like the weekend went by too fast? Maybe?
Well, you
Just a little bit?
confuse me like crazy. We hop on today and Taylor's like, yeah, today's my Monday because you don't work Mondays.
I do not. I work Tuesday through
Something like
Saturday.
that.
So
Something like that. There we go. All right. She goes said that. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It is not like I literally thought it was Monday for a second. I had a minor heart attack. But we recovered. We're back. It is Tuesday. It's happening. The stuff is flying by. Dude, it's August already. Like, how weird. It is August 9th. Today is August 9th. It's not even like the 1st. It's happening. It's crazy. But
it's already here.
anyway, this is the Tuesday Takeover. This is the show where all of us dive into creator brands and we talk about how they're making their money, where they're making their money, how they could go about making more money. So before we dive into today's creator and start talking about all that kind of stuff, if this is your first time joining us, go ahead and drop a first down in the comments down below. We always like seeing it. And then we like to play, like a little interactive show, Jordan. Let everybody know if they hear something smart, that we do something here. This is part of the takeover experience. What are they doing?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so you can follow along. We're going to be taking over this creator, going to her site, checking out where she could be making more money, where she's making her current money. But yeah, at any time you have questions, you can drop it in the chat. Or if you find something like, hey, wait, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. You can drop it in the chat as well. It's a two-way street. Keep the chat fingers ready to go at the ready. We've got the Miro board over here on our left. Scott's in control. And who are we doing today? Who is our takeover victim today?
Taylor, I'm going to turn this over to you because this is someone who's like in your world. You've been on podcasts with this person. Like this was
nice.
You know what I mean? Like this is your show. You know more about this than anybody. So who is this?
Yeah, so this is Mila Clark, good friend of mine in the diabetes space. She is a diabetes influencer like myself. And I discovered her while I was building my own brand of trying to find other creators of color who were in the diabetes space. So that way I could figure out what the hell am I doing now that I've been diagnosed with this thing. And she was one of the first creators that I came across, also from Texas. So like a lot of commonalities that we have, super relatable. And I absolutely love her content. She does great recipe hacks. So if you're somebody who needs something low carb, low sugar, or just in general want to cut back, she has a lot of great recipes, especially for the coffee lovers. If you are a coffee lover, she's got just about everything for you. So Mila is a really good friend, and she has done amazing in terms of her growth as a content creator to provide relatable stuff for those who live with diabetes, or if you just want to learn more. So love Mila to death.
Love it. I was telling Taylor and Jordan before we even hopped on, like, don't go check her stuff out Hangry. Like, I'm currently right now, I'm doing like the intermittent fasting thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm waiting until dinner here. And like, I'm dying watching her stuff. I don't even drink coffee. And I'm like, I'm watching those coffee videos. She's doing the pours and stuff like that. And I was like, oh God, I got to stop. I got to recover from this. I absolutely loved it. Mila, awesome content creator. Definitely go check out all of her stuff. She is thehangrywoman.com, right? Is that the one, Taylor?
Yep. Also, like, great title in general. Like, dang, why didn't I think of that?
Awesome
That's so
name.
great.
That's up there with the all-timers. I will say my very favorite name, my favorite creator brand I've ever heard of in my entire life, SamCart seller. It is fuzzyyellowballs.com. That is owned by a guy named Will Hamilton, and it is a tennis training site.
I was going to say it has to be tennis.
It's so good. It's one of my favorite ones. The Hangry Woman is right up there, though. That was amazing. My wife walked in while we were kind of like checking out some of her stuff. I'm watching her, whatever. And she's like, ooh, who's that? And she gave her a follow on Instagram. I was like, yeah, definitely go check that out. It looks awesome. Nice. I'd be happy to eat some of that food. So anyway, here at the takeover, right? We're gonna dive in. We're gonna look at Mila's business here. But basically when we do these takeovers, we kind of just do this live. It's kind of just like us going through their business and stuff like that. But we always ask 4 questions, right? We take a look at the business. We say, what is the opportunity here, right? Which is basically another way of saying, how big is this person's audience? How big is their reach? And what could that mean in terms of dollars, right? So what is the opportunity? Next question is, what are they promoting? We're going to dive in. We're going to follow their links. We're going to say, okay, where are they sending their people? Are they promoting books? Are they promoting, just go follow my other channels? Are they promoting affiliate offers? Like, what are they out there promoting, right? Next question is, how easy is it to buy? Okay, how easy to buy? Pretty self-explanatory. If I'm a big fan of Mila's, how easy is it for me to give Mila my money, right? And the second one is, how easy is it to buy more? Okay, so how big is the opportunity, right? How big is the opportunity? What are they promoting? How easy is it to buy? How easy is it to buy more, right? And so that is exactly where we're going to start. So first things first, we are going to start out with what is the opportunity, right? So I've got her YouTube stuff up. You want me to share that screen? What do you guys
Let's do that.
Let's
Why
do
we
that.
start
Okay, all
on
right.
social media.
Somebody bring me up.
All right, let's see.
We're coming.
There we go. We have so
coming.
many screens on here now. There we go.
There we go. There we go. All right, awesome. All right, Taylor, walk us through this.
Sweet.
Obviously, here is Mila's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Here we're at. She got 25,000 viewers, right? Like, let me know, like, where are we at?
Sweet.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff that she does is a mix between like vlog style, but also kind of behind the scenes and walking through like day in the life of living with something like diabetes. It is literally an all day process. So I love a lot of those videos. She recently started podcasting with a friend as well. So we have some of that separated on the channel. And then my favorite playlist, the Hangry Kitchen, because I came for the food. I came
Hangry
for
Kitchen,
the food to watch
pretty
how I can like do all the things and have my own Martha Stewart moment in the kitchen. But that's a huge part of her channel is all of her cooking stuff. She even had a short cooking show on a well-known
Wow, look
diabetes
at this.
platform. So
that's what I'm saying. Awesome production quality. I mean, you can
Some
definitely tell
high-quality
she knows
stuff.
exactly what she's doing. Yeah, this is awesome. I thought her style was awesome. It reminds me of like binging with Babish and like some of those really big like cooking channels or whatever. She's nailing this. I thought she did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So we got YouTube here. We got 25,000 followers on YouTube. Also, Taylor, you said Instagram is a big deal for her too.
yeah, that's usually where a lot of her content lies. Her reels are really fast. So if you don't want to take the time to watch those longer recipe videos, her reels and her TikTok ones are super quick. There goes a nice coffee shot because we live for coffee, but definitely plenty of things to binge very quickly. If you love Starbucks dupes, she does a lot of them, especially for if you want to actually go to Starbucks and order a drink. She always lists out what you can do for that. It's really great. So she has a lot of great bingeable short form content and long form content.
I mean, you can see this is someone who knows exactly what they're doing. This is great freaking production quality, great content. You can see why she's growing. So, all right. So if we go back over to Miro, right, we always kind of define the opportunity essentially, right? About look, here's how this creator is doing, right? What is the opportunity here, right? So I'm going to go ahead. Let me pull up I'm going to pull this up. We'll change colors so it's something you can see a little bit easier, right? What's the opportunity? It looks like we got something like, 25,000 on YouTube, right? Plus something like, we'll call it 45,000 on Instagram. You said she's got TikTok, she's got a podcast, and let's just ballpark this, right? And we'll say this is probably Taylor, or sorry, what did I say? Taylor. Mila's probably sitting something like 80,000 subscribers, right? We'll just say that's probably a ballpark number. And so the number that we always put out there, right, is that every creator should be making at least $1 per subscriber, per follower, per subscriber, whatever you want to say, per year.
Yep.
So basically, our hypothesis here, right, is that Mila should be making probably something around $80,000 a year from this business, just based on how big the opportunity is, how big her audience is. And certainly as that keeps growing, the opportunity keeps getting bigger as she continues to kind of go up from here.
And let's probably
Jordan,
note too, I was going to say, let's note that she is a food blogger, which is a pretty classic thing. We've kind of all become super familiar with food bloggers over the last 5 to 10 years, but she's taken over just one specific niche. So she has 80,000 fans, but these are 80,000 fans all dedicated to the diabetes space, to like, these are foods for people who are pre-diabetic or have diabetes, and it's like, that's the niche. So it's like, it's not just a food blog, it's not just doing recipes, but it's recipes for this specific niche. So it's like, this
is what I love. I love this so hard, right? Is we get people to ask this question all the time, right? Is, like someone like Mila could have approached her business. We always say, like, listen, getting niche down. You hear that word a lot, right? In the kind of the online world. Yeah. Getting niche down is the right idea, okay? Because here's the problem is when you go too broad, right? She could have just been like, hey, listen, I'm just going to make a bunch of stuff about food, right? And that could have been it. You're competing with everyone. You know what I mean? You're competing with literally
tens of
everyone
thousands
in the world.
of people.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. And so we say, okay, cool. Well, hey, I'm not just talking about food. You know what I mean? Now I'm going to talk about, what's like one step down from food. I don't know. We're going to talk about like, we'll say something like, whoop, and I'm in my eraser here. We'll do
Yeah, it could
something
be
like,
like
okay,
healthy,
cool.
like healthy recipes is
Yeah,
one step.
healthy. I'm doing healthy stuff. I'm doing at home stuff. I'm doing stuff for families. I'm doing stuff for whatever. That's like one step down, a little bit more specific, right? But we got all the way down here, right? Now we're talking about the diabetes world, right? That is such a great specific way to go in. You know what I mean? I'm not just here to talk about food. I'm here to talk about food for diabetics that want to cook themselves, want to do stuff at home. And it's such a great example, right, of why getting specific is better, right? So everybody watching this thing, think about how can I be more specific? I was laughing. I was actually recording a video not long before this where I was talking about the world of like fitness, right? And I came up with the worst, dumbest example of all time, but I guarantee you it might actually work, right? Was talking about like fitness, imagine like I'm over here and I'm all about fitness at that point, right? And the next step down is like, okay, cool. I'm men's fitness. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, how could you get like more specific than that? And I don't know why this came to my brain, but like think about like fitness for like accountants or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like you get this specific, you get down here. Listen, I'm not saying like fitness for accountants is like massive, you know what I mean? But this is the kind of way that you want a shortcut to finding your audience and getting results. You know what I mean? Get down to this bottom level, right? Get down to something really niche like this because it's easy to see why great content for this crowd is working for Mila and she's growing like crazy because of it. So love seeing that.
Yep.
I think it's a great testament to getting specific and getting niche down.
Yeah, let's do a shout out. Everyone in the audience, in the chat, type your niche. What niche are you working in? What category are you trying to sell in? What is your brand positioned at? Type it in the chat. What is your niche?
If someone says fitness for accountants, hats off. You know what I mean? Hats off to you. That's what I'm saying.
They win.
Yeah.
That's the next SamCart
Hats
course.
off to you. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that's gonna be SamCart course. Love it. Awesome. Well, while we wait for that to come in, we're gonna go ahead and keep moving on here. So now it's the what are they promoting? Okay, where is this creator sending their people? You go watch stuff on Instagram, you go watch stuff on YouTube. What happens next? Where are they sending stuff? And so we actually have some. We've got some screenshots that we'll just kind of follow here for a little bit, right? So this is Mila's homepage, right? So Taylor, you're probably more familiar with this than anybody, right? Like, give me a sense. Where do some of these links go? You know what I mean? If we're up here at the top, let's start up top. Like, what do we see? Where is she promoting this? Where is she sending people?
Yeah, I like that the very next link next to the home button is recipes because that's one of the biggest things that she does is recreating or hacking recipes so that way you can enjoy the same kind of foods that you would in your day-to-day, before being diagnosed with diabetes, but still be able to have it in a way that isn't going to send your numbers crazy. So I think that's like really cool that it's right there. And then she goes straight into diabetes living resources. So like being able to calculate numbers that you have to track, things like that. Then videos, which we know is a big part of her, content loop, if you will. And then there's this become a member link that honestly was actually new to me. So I was like, okay, what's that about? Which leads to her having an actual membership, looks like with Patreon. And that's where I'm like, all right, I'm glad that we have all the cool things that you're known for, but now that I'm on your site, like, let me get to the paid stuff a little bit faster. But so far, I mean, it's laid out beautifully. It's just getting to everything that you're not fully sure what you're getting into until you actually click on it. I kind of wish that the becoming a member was a little bit closer, but
for sure,
still keep
consistent
in what she's offering in terms of content. So.
Yeah, totally. Right. So so she's giving away all her recipes for free, right? She's out here, she's got a link to her Amazon store, which Taylor, but like she's got some stuff over for sale on Amazon. Like, what are you going to find when you go to Amazon?
She's got like a journal, like a diabetes journal. And then there was supposed to be a cookbook in the works, but I'm not sure what happened with that. I do know that the food journal is up there though.
I love it. Yeah. So here we go right here. I believe I'm clicked on this for you guys. I can see out here. Right. So when you click on Amazon, you're going to go over, she's got a book right here. It is $11, right? All right. And, just $10.99 or whatever like that. But it's over here on Amazon. That means that every book she sells, right, she's probably pulling in something like, I don't know, maybe like $6 to $8, per. Amazon takes a pretty healthy chunk there.
Yeah, for books, I think I want to say 10% for books, their fee.
Okay,
I could be
wrong.
We'll
go high.
But yeah,
let's go high. Let's assume we're closer to $10.
For $11, they're taking $1 to $2 per book.
Yep. So we'll call it $10 per book that she's going to take home, right? If she's out here selling this kind of stuff. And then so she's got to go over to her recipes. Taylor, from her recipe directory, is there anything else here like for sale? You know what I mean? You go through and you get it's a bunch of her latest posts and her latest comments. We might have or latest like Instagram posts, stuff like that. But essentially this whole thing is just another free resource, right? Like she's not really selling recipes specifically.
No, that's the only thing that is for sure on sale is the journal and then the membership, but nothing else. Everything else is just kind of, like you said, a free resource for you to dive into.
Love it. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So if we go back over to her site, right? And this is, again, the links in her YouTube descriptions, the links in her Instagram bios, stuff like that are very similar. They all pretty much link back to, hey, come check out my recipes. Hey, here's a link to more videos. Go subscribe on YouTube, like that kind of stuff. So she's doing a lot of really good kind of like internal linking. You know what I mean? Like if we back out a touch, we kind of look at the whole landscape here. She's got this nice little system that kind of all like feeds itself. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, cool. You watch YouTube videos and it's going to send you back to my homepage, right? Or it's going to send you over to, go check out the Amazon book. It's going to, it's this nice little spider web that's all kind of doing there. But here's my only problem. My only problem is if I wanted to go buy something, right? Which really brings us back to question number 3. How easy is it to buy? There's only really one place that I can go and spend money that's going right back to Mila, right? And that's like the Patreon thing. I'll give you like half credit for the Amazon book because it's something. But at the end of the day, Amazon's the one making money. You know what I mean? Like that's, you don't control that. It's not really her thing. You know what I mean? So what I see here, right, is if I were to zoom in on, okay, how is Mila making her money right now, right? If we were to say, okay, where is Mila's like money and revenue coming from? You know what I mean? I'm going to guess right now, we'll probably do a couple different circles here. We'll say the biggest thing, Taylor, you said, right, was you said brand deals, and that's kind of where things are at right now.
Right.
Scott, I'll give you some sticky notes here.
Oh, there we go. We got some sticky notes coming in. So yeah, we think, brand deal. She's someone who's got a really nice following on Instagram. I'm sure in the diabetes space, she's probably getting approached by people, right? Taylor, that all sound like it's ringing a bell?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a
Awesome.
sponsored post.
That.
Yep.
Yeah, brand deals, some sponsored posts, things like that. But then I think we got these relatively smaller kind of bubbles, right? Are going to be like, okay, we're looking at Patreon, and then I'm going to guess like, we probably got like YouTube revenue over here, and then maybe like Amazon book sales, right? So, and Jordan's I'm keeping Jordan kind of,
I'm working.
Keep up with all these things. Yeah, Jordan's working hard. You know what I mean? So this is probably where she's making her money right this second, right? Now, we talk about this pretty much every week, right? What is the big problem that we see here, right? If this is where the money's coming from right now, right? And in general, right? We're looking at, okay, how are we going to get to a place where we think Mila's probably making $80,000 a year or better from this brand, right? Like, personally, I look at this and I see something's missing, right? Like, what else? I'm curious to see, like, if anybody else agrees with me.
Yeah, there's something here. This big circle. Trying to think what it could be.
It's like an incomplete high five,
It's a big high five. All right, I'll stop the half-hearted mislead for the most part. What I see missing right here, right, is digital products. And I'm just going to go ahead and type this one in. But digital products. I think right now there are so many things that Mila could go make right this second, right? That she could make one time and sell to anyone ever again as many times as she wanted, right? If she had, her first, hey, this is my, like beginner's diabetes cookbook. These are my diabetes shopping list. These are my, my favorite. I mean, shoot, man, she could theme this by holidays. This is my diabetic Thanksgiving stuff, right? Is rolling out next month. Or this is, look, you're going to be doing, you got a Halloween party or something coming up. Like these are the kind of things that she could go create that all of a sudden I think would go from relatively zero, because there's not really anything like that up here right now, to the biggest portion of her revenue overnight. You know what I mean? So Taylor, you even said it beforehand, right? You were talking about the idea that you're a follower of Mila's, you're in her world, you know what I mean? You get it, right? But at the end of the day, there was really nowhere for you to go spend your money and support Mila.
Right, right. Unless it's, immediately going for the journal or again joining the membership, which the membership is cool and, kind of plays upon what Jordan said a couple weeks ago about access. But sometimes people just want something quick in their hands, tangible that they can do right now. And a digital product is the fastest way to do that. I don't have to wait for Amazon, even though they are fast, but I can get it
Right?
right there in my email box and I'm good to go to start out.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's talk about a Patreon thing for a little bit, right? Because right now, Mila's got a Patreon, and I think the options were like $3 a month, $5 a month, or $10 a month. You know what I mean? And so that's the nature of Patreon, which I like the offer. I like the idea that she's got something for people that are really into her stuff to dive in and go deeper, right? But there's a problem with Patreon, and is that by nature, right, it is a subscription. And we said it before we came online, right? But a subscription is the hardest thing to sell online, period, right? Absolutely, period. It doesn't matter that it's really cheap. It doesn't matter that it's, only a couple bucks a month or that it's somebody you really love and you somebody really follow. When you're selling someone a subscription, it's a really high bar. Conversions on subscription products are always way lower than one-time fees. And I would love to see some of that premium content, right, shift over from the Patreon box to the digital product box, right? Let's take some of that content and turn it into a one-time fee ebook about some awesome, recipe books, about some, how my kitchen setup is, being a diabetic, about, my favorite restaurants out to go eat that are super diabetic friendly. There's so many digital product ideas I think that Mila could execute on immediately, right? And start shifting and have a much, much easier time selling over here in this box, you know what I mean, than she would ever have over there in the Patreon box. So as I just spend 8 minutes kind of like filling some stuff in.
Yeah, this is seeing this food blogger and starting to think about how kind of like over the last few years, how content and how everyone has promoted content and content marketing to say like, you need to grow your audience and everything needs to be free. And once your audience is big enough, that's when you can start to monetize. And I think as the years have gone by, there's like, okay, but when do you monetize? She has over 80,000 followers, 80,000 fans. And my question is like, if you're watching this right now and you have 10,000 fans or you have 5,000 fans, are you yourself like holding out to say like, no, I'm not going to monetize right now. I'm going to wait until I'm a little bit bigger. And then once I'm a little bit bigger, that's when I can start to monetize. And I think nowadays you can say like, you can monetize at any time. You can have 100 followers and put out an ebook, put out some kind of digital product and start selling. There's no magical number. There's no like, well, once I hit 100,000 subscribers, that's when I can turn the money flow on. It's like, no, like you can build your business while you also build your audience at the same time. So when I see that she hasn't totally dove in, say like, I'm going to fully monetize my audience. It just makes me think like, maybe that's just like how the environment has been, how the food blogging space has been, Instagram influencer space has been. So whatever limit you have in your head, if you're watching this right now, you think like you have to hit this magical number before you can monetize, think again.
There's no magical number. There's definitely no magical number. And I'm saying that I'm smaller than Mila. You can monetize. Like, imagine you in the room with all the people that are following you. It would overwhelm me if I was in the room with the amount of followers that I have. And it's nowhere near, tens of thousands of people. So
and then imagine being in that room. Imagine being in that room and not having something for those people to buy, right? Imagine that, right? If you're on stage in front of 80,000 people, right? And you said, all right, guys, everybody have a good night. I'll see you later. There'd be a bunch of people like, what do we mean? Like, we got to keep going. Like, how do I get deeper into this? What else can I get from you? You know what I mean? And that's why we come back to this, this graph over here is that we just think digital products, I've seen it time and time again, is the biggest opportunity for speed and ease to bring something out there and bring something into the world, you know what I mean? That all of a sudden you can create one time and sell as many times as you need, right? So guys, those of you guys who are watching right now, drop some ideas down below. What would you like to see, right? Or what do you think Mila could go create right this second? That if she rolled out, had one page out there on SamCart to go out there and sell it, that people would line up and start buying from her, right? Because realistically, when we back out and we look at, this awesome brand that she is creating here, there is so much there's so much good stuff going on in terms of what she has and what's out here, what's available for her customers. And I think the biggest single opportunity is for us to take things like, we got all these links that are out here. I'll make this in red, right? How about instead of, right, linking from YouTube back to the homepage and YouTube back to free recipes and maybe over to an Amazon book, right? What if all we did was say, hey, we're going to go from YouTube and we're going to link to, one SamCart page, right? Where its whole job was, we're going to go sell, hey, my 12 favorite, diabetic, breakfast foods or something. I don't know. Like, yeah, like Taylor, you would be a much better person to ask about what should be made here. You know what I mean? But imagine a world where she's got that. And all of a sudden, you could sell this for $20, $40, $50, right? And if you go and sell this thing for $50, right? Guess how much Mila is keeping, right? Mila is keeping basically $50, maybe something like, 47, 48, something like that. You pay like 3% to all the credit card folks, you know what I mean? But all of a sudden you are keeping massive, massive amounts of money just by selling something that you own, right? So I want to see you guys drop them in the chat. What do you guys think Mila could go create a page and sell for just like this? While I'm actually going to stop and bring up an example that we created so you guys can actually see what this looks like in practice, right? So if we bring this up right here, this is a page that we created for a SamCart takeover we did not that long ago with Sean Cannell and his team over at Think Media, right? But he had this book called YouTube Secrets, and imagine if all you did was below a YouTube video in an Instagram post, link to a page that looks as simple and quick as this one, right? We got something available for sale right here. We're going to scroll down the page, can complete your order super, super fast. SamCart can deliver, your ebook or your video course or whatever right there for you, and then do the advanced stuff like this, right? These two boxes right here, these are called order bumps. And this is how you go from selling one product to selling 5 products. This is how you go from selling something that costs $15 to letting a customer spend $60, $70, $80, $90, right? Where customers can see the other things that you have for sale and add them to their order, right? So all of a sudden, Mila could take, her, we'll use her favorite breakfast foods or something like that, right? And give somebody a chance to say, cool, here's my 7 favorite Starbucks, duplicate recipes, right? And someone's going to say, cool, awesome. I want to add that to my order. And somebody goes from maybe spending 20, 30 bucks to spending $50, $60, and all of it goes right back to Mila's pocket, right? This is the power. This thing over here that I'm pointing at the side of my face here, this is the power of selling digital products and having the right tools for the job. This is how you can go from, post something on YouTube, link to one page, right? Customers find and discover more stuff, and all of a sudden your business is off to the races. That, my friends, is how you get here, right? That is how you get to a point where the biggest single driver of revenue is digital products, and it is dwarfing brand deals. It is dwarfing what you're getting on Patreon. It's dwarfing what Amazon sends you back, for selling a couple books here and there, right? But it all comes back to the idea of what kinds of digital products could we spin up, right? There's so many things out there. So I'm curious to see, let's do some brainstorming, right? What digital products should Mila be out here selling?
Maybe we should explore the traditional cookbook. I think she's already kind of explored this, but or maybe break down what goes into a traditional cookbook versus how we can make it into a digital product that is scalable and that you can have the most profit out of. So
I'm kind of thinking like a recipe hacking guide, because even though she takes other stuff and does it, for you, maybe you're a little bit more advanced in the kitchen and you want to be like, okay, well, how do I take, my grandma's famous pot roast and make it, diabetes friendly? What are the steps that you take to think about the ingredients for that? That would be something that I feel a lot of people would go for.
Yep, I love that. I'm not sure she could use the term Starbucks in the name, you know what I mean? But what if it was like, we're going to this is my coffee duping cookbook. You know what I mean? These are my 26 favorite, like coffee related things, these morning things to hook you up. Cause I can't even imagine, Taylor, like as a diabetic, everything anyone drinks in the morning is sugar. You know what I mean? And like, I'm sure you still want those things, you want them, but like you can't have them, right? Like that's it. But it's like, listen up, diabetics, we're going to get you going in the morning. You know what I mean? This is like all the coffee, tea, whatever kind of things that you love. All your friends are drinking. I'm going to teach you how to make these things diabetic style.
All right, we got Joe. Joe dropped an idea. Look at standard fast food menus and ask for diabetes-friendly custom orders. So
I love that idea.
The diabetes guide to McDonald's, the diabetes guide to In-N-Out, the diabetes guide to, whatever it may be, Burger King. That could be sweet.
How about this? What if we just did the diabetics guide to fast food?
Yeah. These are the top
right?
4 things to order.
Or fine dining. You know what I mean? We could do whatever. You could do whatever you want, but I think that's such a great thing is like, listen, diabetics have a tough time going out. You know what I mean? Like I mentioned to Taylor, like in a totally different, separate, less serious way. My wife has celiacs, you know what I mean? So there's certain restaurants we just cross off. But if somebody was helping, you know what I mean? Somebody's helping diabetics, helping whatever, right? Like whatever your market is, go out there and say, these are places that we're whitelisting for you, or these are places that maybe you didn't think you could go eat, but you can, you know what I mean? Like, man, people would pay for that all over the place, right? So,
Absolutely.
all right, let's get one more in here. I think we got one more, and we have got an empire of ideas, I think, for Mila to go execute on.
I'm going to stay with the drink theme because this is always a question that comes up. Cocktails that even a diabetic can drink. Because that's always a big thing.
Yes, sir.
Can we still drink? Yes, we can. Okay.
Party guy.
We can. We're just strategic about it and you don't even know it.
I love it. Yeah, let's go. Diabetic guided cocktails, man. I mean, like it's the same thing all day, every day. You know what I mean? We talk about this all the time, right? And I'll just bring my other screen back up really quick. If you want to know in your market, you know what I mean, what you should go create. If you're thinking, what kind of digital products should I create? What kind of meal plan, you know, I don't know, whatever that might be, right? This is exactly what you do, right? I'm going to go back to Mila's channel, right? We're going to go ahead. Let me close that sucker. I'm going to bring up videos. All we're going to do is just sort by most popular.
Yep.
Right? Sort by most popular, right?
That's the trick.
And here we go. We got a ton of stuff in here. Taylor, I'm going to set these back over to you because that's a word. I don't even know what that word is, right? What is
that? Is
Ozempic?
Ozempic. Yeah, it's actually a medication that I take. And so it's one that is provided to a lot of people living with diabetes, more so in the type 2 space. You might see some folks with type 1, but it's basically just an injectable medication to help with weight loss and keeping your blood sugar numbers in check, stuff like that. So it's a common, drug that's pushed. They have different names for it. Ozempic is just the big one. They have a very annoying commercial because I hear the jingle in my head right now, literally right now as I'm saying it. But yeah, it's something that people ask about because a lot of times primary care physicians aren't immediately offering this to people, even though it could be helpful.
Got it.
So usually you don't see it until you talk to an endocrinologist, and this is one of the medications that can pop up for you. So it's definitely a big discussion. Same thing with Trulicity. I see Freestyle. Freestyle is the constant glucose monitor that a lot of people wear. I wear one.
My dad wears that. Yep, I got you.
Yeah, exactly. So she does a lot of great content about this technology and more advanced medications that are out there, along with the recipes. So vlogs are a big part of her channel.
I love it.
All right.
I love it. Yeah. And so, back to why do we come to YouTube? You know what I mean? Sort by most popular on your channel. Go sort by most popular on other people's channels in your world, right? Whoever your audience is following, go sort by most popular. And whatever these ideas are, whatever these top 5, 10, whatever, videos are about, those are digital product ideas you should go create immediately. This is basically baked in demand. You know what I mean? If she were to go make some digital product around Ozempic and the best ways to use it while you're losing weight or, whatever kind of stuff, this basically saying is guaranteed that it would start selling right this very second.
Facts on facts on
Jordan,
facts.
anything else to offer? You're the YouTube guy over here. I was curious if like anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean,
strong insights and way to go.
Yeah, I'm seeing right there the that one nausea remedies. If you wanted to not work so hard to say like we're going to create this full guide or create an entire book, a nausea recipe or nausea remedies, that could be a simple one pager. She goes into Canva, she types out all 5 remedies, makes it look nice on a custom template, and saves as a PDF, and then you load it into SamCart and deliver that. You sell it for $10, sell it for $15. She could have that up and running in less than 2 hours.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, totally love that. And so, yeah, it's like when it comes to what could someone go and create? I mean, honestly, the ideas here are endless. You know what I mean? And Taylor, you would know better than anybody in terms of, if you had to go execute on these right now as somebody else who's in a very, very similar space, you know what I mean? How many of these ideas that we wrote down here do you think are just kind of like borderline almost just sitting on your computer ready to go?
I've got quite a few ideas that are sitting that I'm just like, why haven't I done anything with this? And I work here.
That's gonna be the best part, right? The best part is these are not things that should take like months and months and months to go create. You know what I mean? Like these should be things that there are ideas sitting on your desktop right now, and I'm talking to you people who are watching us right now. You know what I mean? There are ideas sitting on your desktop right now that you could go and turn into a Notion template, turn into a checklist, turn into a quick ebook. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden you could spin up a page, one simple page using a template baked into SamCart, like we have all those pre-written, pre-designed templates there, right? And get you guys off and running, selling things right this very second. But the idea, right? The to back up a little bit and to take another high level view with this, right? The idea here is that you want two things, okay? You want, number one, and I'm going to use the term that I used last week, right? I'm going to use the term alignment, right? We use term alignment, and I'm not, should I spell that right? Isn't G first?
Yeah, we'll allow it.
Yeah, we'll allow it. We'll allow it. Never spell in public, right? What is it, Jordan? You always say never do math in public.
Math in public, you don't spell in public.
I should never spell in public. I guess it's part of the job. Anyway, we'll forget I just did that. But we got, alignment means we're going to go post a YouTube video, right? So we're going to be over here on YouTube, okay? And we're going to post a video about, Starbucks coffee recipes or something like that. You know what I mean? This is how we're going to make, Starbucks number one thing for, whatever. And then we're going to go from that video and say, hey, by the way, if you want to check more out, you know what I mean? If you want to learn more about this kind of thing, I've got, 26 of my favorite breakfast, drink recipes or something like that. Click the link down below and check it out. And it takes you to a page where you learn about that offer and you can buy it. That's alignment, okay? That is, imagine if underneath of this video, she's got one of her top videos about Ozempic, right? That drug you guys were talking about, the kind of like weight loss, diabetic, balancing out type thing. If we had something underneath that video that said, if you want to learn about, exactly what to do and exactly how to go get Ozempic and, whatever, click the link down below, right? You make it that easy for someone to go from watching something about topic A to buying something about topic A. And that is what brings us all the way back again. If we revisit these 4 questions we talk about on these takeovers, what's the opportunity, right? How big is your audience? How much should you be making, right? What are they promoting, right? And this is where alignment comes into play. Alignment is how easy is it to go from a YouTube video about something to buying something about that same topic, right? How easy is it to buy? And then the final question, again, we talked about a little bit, right? But how easy is it to buy more? Okay. Because the truth is, right, is if we could snap our fingers, all right, and give Mila a page that looks like this one. If I bring this back up over here, right? If we could snap our fingers and give Mila a page that looks like this, where she could go and learn about breakfast, awesome coffee recipes or something like that, right? Someone could scroll down the page and all of a sudden now it's going to be easy for them to go add other things to their order. Someone goes from spending $25 to spending another 50 because you made it easy to buy more, right? Then all of a sudden that is how we get to a world, right, where digital products is the money machine in your entire business, right? That is how you get to a point where, cool, we're doing well right now. We got brand deals. We got all this stuff, you know what I mean? But then we get a chance for digital products to come in and become the lion, become the behemoth that is driving everything and making everything else in your business look small.
Yep. And the kind of stuff that she is selling, she can have repeat customers. She is one email away, one YouTube video away from saying, hey, I've got a new product. I've got a new recipe guide. Last week we did Starbucks product. Now we have the Dunkin' Donuts product. Like there's every single week she could be coming out with new products. And you've said this a lot, Scott, that like the more products you put out, the more opportunities you have for profit, the more that you're going to have repeat customers. And that's going to eventually raise the lifetime value of your customers. Saying like this was a $10 customer and now this is a $100 customer.
Exactly. Yeah. Every time you roll one of these things out, right? Every time you turn around and say, cool, I finished that one, right? Now I'm going to start working on this one. I got it out there. Every time you introduce something new for your audience to come and buy, you give every single person who's ever bought from you a reason to come back and look again. You know what I mean? It gives you another reason to drive up, I'll use the acronym is LTV, right? Lifetime value. When you focus on ways to increase your lifetime value and you give your best people, your best customers, your best buyers a chance to come back and spend more, right? That's when you start making easy money. Okay. That is the easiest money you will ever make, is focusing on this one stat right over here, lifetime value. Well,
Scott, I want to add one thing with the ideas here. I did this for my own product last week. If you have a bunch of ideas about a product and she has 80,000 fans, all you have to do is send out a survey to your customers with just the names of the products. You don't have to build the products. Just say, here are 5 names of potential products that I could create. Which one is your favorite? And if Starbucks is the winner, if the fast food one is the winner, then that's the product you go and make. And then 2 weeks later, you put it out, send an email, create a YouTube video, and all the customers that said, hey, I want this product, now they can get it right there.
Absolutely.
Love that. Yeah, absolutely love that. Go out there, let your people tell them. I mean, in the same way that you go and you check, you videos to find out, what stuff is selling, what stuff does my audience want? What are they already coming to me for? You know what I mean? Yeah, let your audience decide, man.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you have 100 followers or 100,000 followers, right? This is the kind of stuff that, listen, anybody out there who's got 1,000 followers on Instagram, you probably are really quite on the verge of having a full-time income. You know what I mean? You start focusing up and do this kind of stuff, right? Let digital products be your guide, right? Let them go out there, make something once, sell it as many times as you need. That is the power of digital products. Taylor, where are we at? Anything else you try to add? Anything else you want to dive into? You know what I mean? We got any questions coming in? I can't even really see. I'm not really checking the chat. But those of you guys who are watching right now, if you guys have any other questions, if you have any questions about Mila, about her business, you got ideas you want to throw out there, drop it in the chat with us. You got some big aha, some big takeaway, something we said, drop that in the chat as well. But Taylor, what else you got?
I mean, I'm seeing some really great ideas from people just from this one niche. And I think that's the part that makes it so interesting, is that this is just one niche, and who's to say that it can't actually apply to yours? Because there are people who go through this all the time, and it isn't until you say, hey, I've got this thing, that people are like, oh yeah, actually, I need that. Actually, I would like to go to fast food restaurants and not spend 80 years trying to calculate what I can get and what I can't. So I think it's a big thing of just don't underestimate your ideas and what you have. Got some great suggestions on how to, test it to make sure that it's, going to be a good fit for your audience. But I definitely want to reharp on do not worry about having the big audience. You can have 500 people that are fans of yours, and if they're spending, that's 500 more people that you had before. So I think brings opportunity.
With a niche like this, it brings everything into focus. Just say think of a food recipe, okay, and then think of a healthy food recipe, okay, but then think of a healthy diabetic food recipe. And you're like, oh,
you can't miss
right here. It nails it down. It brings
that
into focus.
Tastes good, because that's a big factor. Because cauliflower pizza, I'm sorry, send it back. Send it back. It's trash. I don't care what anybody says.
As someone who's had to eat a lot of gluten-free pizza in his lifetime, I echo that big time. Yeah, it's we need some good stuff. But no, I love that. A lot of people, when they get, this diagram that I'll focus in on a little bit again, up above my head here, right, is when they think if it gets, I don't want to get too specific because there's not enough juice in the squeeze when we get too specific, right? But we just talked about, look how big Mila's audience is, right? Look how fast she's grown. I mean, you were saying, Taylor, when did she start? When did she really kick into what she's doing now?
I know she started around 2016, but I came across her in 2018, and she already had a pretty large audience by that point. So
yeah. Just awesome.
Go to
Go
I was gonna say, Scott, go to that copywriting example we have down below, because that's another example of when you niche down, you're able to speak the exact language of your audience and they exactly get it. This is from her website, and tell me someone who has diabetes hasn't felt these emotions, gone through this these pain points.
Yep. This is a copywriting masterclass. You know what I mean? Mila does a great job with her content. It's no surprise, but I love this so hard. You know what I mean? She's talking right to her audience. And again, like Jordan said, when you get this specific, you get a chance to go right after this kind of stuff, right? Listen, after your diabetes diagnosis, it's normal to feel, right? Judged, unsupported, misunderstood, lost. These are words that she is calling right to the heart of the perfect person who she is just going to start drawing in, right? So many people would create a brand like this, and they would say hey, cool, listen up, diabetic. I've got cool stuff.
Yummy, good, and nice food
about diabetes. You know what I mean?
Tasty,
Follow
good
me.
food.
cool diabetes stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, listen, this is so much more powerful to call out to the things your audience is already feeling. You know what I mean? They in copywriting, they talk about the idea that you should be saying things your audience is that's already going on in their brain. You should be entering a conversation they're already having in their own brain. And I just love this, calling out to the emotions and really talking to a bunch of negative emotions. I mean, Taylor, you are diabetic. This is your world. You know what I mean? How does this section of her homepage strike you?
I mean, it's all of the things that you feel, especially when you're in that doctor's office and they're like confirming this diagnosis, like all of that runs through you immediately. And then you have your first social interactions, and that's where the unsupported and judged and misunderstood kind of come in. So just being able to name those feelings, because I think that's the part that always gets hard to talk about. You always see the shiny stuff, the cool coffee recipes and stuff like that. But the reality is it's really hard. And people don't see that. And I think it was amazing to just call that out of like, this is normal. And it gives you that connecting factor of like, I'm not alone. And I'm not crazy, because sometimes you feel like you're going crazy.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So, this is the kind of thing that, listen, go create products. You know what I mean? Everybody should take note of, I'm not kidding. This is like, should go in a swipe file for everyone thinking, all right, cool. How do I go make better content? How do I improve my website? How do I sell more stuff? Is take note of what Mila has done right here. Right. And then think of these are all of them are problems. Okay. These are all problems, and your job is to create solutions, right? So every single one of these is an opportunity for you to go create something that's going to help move somebody away from these feelings, and somebody will pay you to do it, right? If this is Mila, you know what I mean, and she was going to go create a digital product, the first thing I would put at the top of the page that sells it, I'll say, hey, listen up. I get that you're going to feel unsupported and misunderstood when you walk into, a coffee shop with your friends. You know what I mean? I'm going to help, like this, and this is going to give you back your independence. Is going to do this. It's like, I'm going to help you move away from these problems with my solution that I've created here. And I just love it. I think that's like it's just a good copywriting example. You know what I mean? I would call all of this goes under the umbrella.
Yeah, because you read it. You read this and you're like, okay, this creator gets it. This creator gets my problems. Like they're not just pulling shit out of their ass. It's like they understand this. They understand me. They understand my world. And it almost feels like they're reading my mind. And it's like, wow,
exactly.
Every single bullet point that you put on your copywriting page should be a yes, yes, yes. This is me. Oh, that's me. Yep. Okay, cool. Where do I put my money?
100%. 100%. Well, I absolutely love that. Everybody, this has been Mila, right? So everybody should go check out Mila. She is at thehangrywoman.com, right? Go check her out on YouTube, check her out on Instagram. Awesome content, especially anybody with diabetes or not. Just go check her out. She got great freaking stuff. Let's go ahead. We have a bunch of questions that actually are coming in. So let's go ahead. Those of you guys that are still with us, if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat down below. But we're gonna take the next couple minutes. We're just gonna answer some questions. We got a few of them coming in here. I got the first one is from Lauren. Lauren said, does SamCart and CreatorU mainly serve or cater training to those who only have online shops? No, the answer is absolutely not. But it helps for selling your online stuff. So if you have an in-person shop, you've got a brick and mortar storefront, you've got a gym, you've got a dance studio, something like a service or whatever, right? If you want to sell your stuff online, you want to take those services and reach more people and do that kind of stuff, CreatorU is it. Go check out CreatorU, learn everything there is, right? If you like the content of today's takeover, go to creatoru.com and check it out. It is a library, it is basically masterclass. I was going to say it's a masterclass, but it's a bunch of little mini masterclasses, right? About getting more traffic, creating digital products, profiting from those things, scaling up your business, right? And it doesn't matter if you're brand new to this. It doesn't matter if you're already making 7 or 8 figures. It doesn't matter if you're not currently selling online. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do, you want to sell stuff online, go to creatoru.com and learn, and then go get a SamCart account and sell. That's the thing right there.
Yeah. I'm going to piggyback off of that, because especially if it sometimes can feel like it's catered to like the coaches and the trainers of the world, but I'm a podcaster and game streamer, and this applies just as much to me as it does to someone who's a coach or a trainer. So please don't feel that anything in CreatorU is only to a specific type. Doesn't matter what you got going on, it can work for you.
Love
just
it.
my 2 cents.
Absolutely love it. Yeah. Another question from
There we
El
go.
Martinez. He said, I have a course or training idea. Where can I register and start learning? Go to creatoru.com, right? Creatoru.com, 100%. It is the place to go. It is our Netflix library, you know what I mean, of all the training, everything we know about, growing creator businesses, everything we've learned from studying SamCart's database, right, is all there. Head over to creatoru.com and definitely check it out. So we'll go ahead. I'll bring that up on screen one more time, right? Go to creatoru.com. You guys can check it out. If you want to keep learning, if you liked learning and going through what we did today, right, then go to Creatoru. Definitely go check that out.
Shout out to Joe.
What
He's
else
been
we got?
putting out some great ideas. He said, here's another great idea, a diabetic recipe book that can be helpful for both the diabetic and spouse and partner. Great idea.
Ooh, love that.
There's lots of meals that the wife and I can't eat together, so it'd be nice to something cook. That's awesome. Great idea. Love it.
that one. Love that one for sure. Yeah, man. Everybody
All
wants
right,
to do it together.
Paul-
Everybody wants to feel, that's funny, right? It goes back to what Mila said, that copywriting example. You might feel unsupported, right? What a great word there. You know what I mean? Like unsupported is such a strong one because like anyone who's in a relationship, you know what I mean? It's like you're going through this thing and you're learning, but somebody else isn't going through it. And it's like, man, that's big time. I love that. Solve that problem, make a lot of money. That's all I'll say right there. I love that. Yeah.
All right, we got home design, interiors. I'm just about to launch my first course, concerned about how it will be received. What do you got?
Taylor, I'm going to kick this over to you. What do you have to say?
Beta testing is your best friend. 1000%. 1000%. Beta test, slash the price really low, throw it out there, do a couple of spots, like 10 to 20 and say, hey, these are how many spots that I got going on, put a timer on it after this date, shutting down. You're never going to get at this price again. And then you can get real-time feedback with people on what your course is. There are plenty of people who don't even have the course created. They just sell the spots and then they just shoot it live with that small audience and create the content as they go based on the feedback. So if you've already got it made, even better, you can just get people to give you feedback on it and then make those changes, grab some testimonials from those people of what they did like really well, and then remarket the course in the next version at a higher price.
Yep. 2.0, baby. Yep. I love it. Oh, that is music. Taylor, I have nothing to add. That was beautifully put. The only thing I guess I have one thing to add. The only thing I'm going to add, right? I totally lied to you. It's the same reason we talked about that YouTube example, right? Go to your own YouTube account, go to YouTube accounts of some competitors or things like that, right? And just sort by most watched videos of all time, right? If you're concerned about how things are going to be received, right? If you're concerned about, is there demand for what I'm creating, right? Then go and find out, okay? Go and find out. Go look for really popular videos. Take your ideas and go into subreddits and, and forums and places where your audience is hanging out and ask them, okay? There is absolutely, in today's day and age, Quora is another great one. Go ask questions, right? It is way too easy to reach people in your target audience and get that kind of feedback. Now, it has never been easier than it is right now on the internet, right? And so if you're worried about that kind of stuff, go get feedback. Go out there into the world. Subreddits, YouTube, forums, Facebook groups, all those things, Quora, all great tools to get your ideas in front of somebody and validate that you have something under your feet before you ever spend a dime or a moment making it.
All right, we got chatter of the day. Joe, how can SamCart work with a service like consulting for thousands of motor carriers across the country? I think Joe was earlier talking about that he works with truckers, commercial truckers. These services are training for safety and managing regulations. So how can SamCart work with a service like consulting?
That's a great question. So I'm going to bring this out over here, right? So let me, I'm just going to start drawing in kind of like a wide open space, right? But let me tell you about an example that I love in SamCart, right? So we have one guy, right, who he sells police academy training. And it's like, it's training for people who are about to go into the police academy, right? And so, he's got one page that, he started with one thing and it's like, hey, if you want to go, ace your police academy exam, think of it like studying for the SATs or something. He's going to help you like boost your stuff. And it kind of was like, generic. I can't remember exactly what he was charging. I don't know. Let's just call it like $100. I can't remember exactly what it was. And then over time, what did he do? Well, he duplicated that out and started creating that for like individual niches. You know what I mean? It was like, state number 1, state number 2, state number 3. Here's like the, different kind of entry exam because apparently there's multiple different kinds. So it's like, here's my version B. It's like And so he started rolling out these offers, right? What would someone in that world, Joe, what would someone buy from you right this very second? You know what I mean? That you could start putting in front of them, and someone would grab something from you that's either digital, or, hey, you know, you're going to pay to get on a consulting call with you or something kind of like that. But what would you put in front of your perfect lead that they would give you some kind of money for right this very second? Is that a course? Is that a consulting call? Is it a strategy session? Is it a checklist or a workbook that you have compiled it from, you know, from your expertise, right? But think, what could I put in front of them right this very second that they would jump at in a heartbeat, right? Because this is where our guy started. His name is Russell, right? Started with one idea, right? And then he started rolling out like individual trainings and different versions. And now, you know, now he's serving people all over his country, you know what I mean, who want to get into police academy trainings and want to do these kind of things. But it all started with one very, very good idea that he just said, okay, cool, here's something. And I believe his was a digital course, I think was the first thing that he ever put out there, right? But what is this audience going to pay me for?
Joe added his context to do a mock Department of Transportation audit and how to pass an actual DOT audit. So maybe that's for
I don't know what a DOT audit is. I don't know what that means. I don't know how I can't help someone pass their DOT audit. But Joe, that's why you're there. You know what I mean? You're that guy, right? So if you think someone would say, listen, you know, someone's going to pay me $50, right, for a DOT audit checklist.
Yep.
You know what I mean? These are the things you need to make sure you're going to pass your audit.
Video course, a podcast, audio, ebook, PDF, however you want to deliver the information, SamCart can help you process that transaction and then deliver that content.
Yeah.
Love it.
And
absolutely
honestly,
love it.
You kind of did I was going to say, you did a really cool tactic for people like in the idea space, or they're not sure where to start. Like, that was a really huge idea that you just reverse engineered into a very small one, right? So if you have, I like whiteboarding and like actual sticky notes, no shade to Miro, right? But take your big idea, write it on the board, and then think about what would be the backward steps to go to get to that point. And sometimes it's just doing the first module of a course, maybe, and maybe that could turn into your digital product to start to test things out. And then if that does really well, what would be step 2? Like, what's the advanced course of this? You could still keep the first module and then add to it, and then by the end of it, you have an entire course that you don't have to recreate from scratch. It's already built, but you could use those individual modules as well as something to be your entry level product, in order to get people in the door as well as feedback.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, a lot of beginner consultants, that's the problem they have. They want to charge high ticket. They want to charge $2,000 an hour, $4,000 for a session, $5,000, $10,000 for a session. And it's really hard. Like, those sales do not come. Maybe they come once a month or once a quarter. So yeah, like Taylor, like you just said, like, how do you work backwards? Okay, if you're charging $1,000 an hour, is there something you can charge for $100? Is there something that you can offer at $50 just to get people in the door to say, wow, you're an expert, you know what you're talking about. And then, oh wait, by the way, you had this whole coaching session or consulting session. Can I buy that as well? Because I loved your PDF. I use it all the time. Can I just hop on a call with you for 60 minutes?
And then bingo. And then what do you do from that, right? Every single person who comes in the world, you know, comes into Joe's world buying the DOT audit checklist, you know what I mean? You give them a call and you say, hey, by the way, did you know I have, you know, high ticket services? I have my consulting fee. You know, it's like, that's how you source perfect leads. People who have already paid you some kind of money, you know what I mean? To then come back and then you hop on the phone and you close services. You know what I mean? This right here, this little 2-step, I'm going to sell you something that's really bullseye and sweet spot. And it's like anybody who buys this thing up here, you know what I mean, is going to be the perfect person to then tell about my services. And then what do? You tell them about your services. You know what I mean? It's like, it is the perfect way to get more clients, close people easier because they're already in your world and they love you, spend some money with you. I mean, that little 2-step thing it could be a absolute game changer for anybody who's in that world. You know what I mean? If your goal is to sell people, you know, this stuff down here, you know what I mean? Man, maybe you should consider starting up here with something a little cheaper, a little easier to swallow first.
Yeah, deliver the quick win and then deliver the big win.
And a great way to say it. A great way to say it. Well, I think that is a great place as it is to go ahead and call this edition of Tuesday Takeover. Again, we have been diving into to Mila. What is Mila's last name, Taylor? Mila
Clark. Mila Clark.
Mila Clark, that's right. I want to say, no, okay. Anyway, Mila Clark, there we go. Mila Clark, everybody go check her out, thehangrywoman.com. Awesome YouTube channel, awesome Instagram account, whether you have diabetes, whether you're just interested in food, whether you want to learn more about her copywriting stuff, which I think is very, very good, right? Definitely go check out thehangrywoman.com. If you guys want to grab the mind map that we put together here today, we'll be putting it in the comments sometime after the show is done. We'll just kind of export this thing if you want to take it with you and use it for your own notes. Be sure to do that. And also make sure you guys register for next week's Tuesday Takeover. There's a Luma link down below this video where you guys can go ahead and get notifications so you can join us again next week as we dive into more awesome creators and talk about where they're making their money and how they could be doing better. So if you guys like this show, again, subscribe to the channel, give it that thumbs up. It helps us get seen. But thank you guys so much for joining the SamCart Tuesday Takeover. We will catch you next week as well. We'll see you out there, guys. Take care.